What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of StorrsNation. We hope you are ready for an amazing show. I'm your host, Isaiah Davis, alongside Grant Mengel and Jacob Sondik. The NFL season has been crazy so far. You guys seen it?
Oh, yeah.
100%.
NFL has been crazy with teams that are looking like contenders while others are starting to look like pretenders, like the Dallas Cowboys. But we're not talking about them right now. Grant, are the Bills contenders or pretenders?
That's a difficult question to answer. I mean, I think that they've played four not very good teams, and they've beaten them pretty handily, and then they've played the Patriots and lost. And I think that Patriots game has told us the most out of any of the games so far. They played a one-possession game with the Patriots where Josh Allen went out of the game in the fourth quarter, and they still almost had a chance to win. I think that reveals them as contenders as of right now. They're averaging 18 points a game, giving up 14. They have an elite defense. But as of now, Josh Allen's turning it over a little bit too much. He's got 9 so far this year. I think they're going to go as far as the defense can carry them and as far as Josh Allen's legs can carry them. I'm going to say they get the wild card spot. They're a contender.
Okay. Contender spot for the Bills. So all you Bills fans, you guys are contenders. All right, Jacob, going to you. Are the 49ers contenders or pretenders?
I know it sounds crazy because they're 3-0 and they haven't one of two unbeaten teams. They haven't played anyone. Spoiler alert. 2-3 Tampa Bay, 0-5 Cincinnati, 1-4 Pittsburgh, and they turned the ball over 5 times against Pittsburgh and still won. So it's like, did Pittsburgh lose the game or did 49ers win the game? They also got a big test tonight against Cleveland. We don't know what's going to be going on. And Jimmy G, only 5 TDs, 4 interceptions. Not great numbers from him. I think they're pretenders, especially with that great division with the Rams and Seahawks. I don't think they stack up.
Do you think there's a chance that they can make the playoffs somehow?
I don't think so. Just the NFC is too deep and there's too many teams in the NFC West.
Okay, definitely see what you mean by that. Grant, we're going back to you. Do you think the Jaguars, led by Minshew, arguably the best quarterback on his team, we're not going to go so far. Do you think the Jaguars are contenders or pretenders?
I love what Minshew's doing, and I'm into the Minshew mania, but I'm not sold on the Jaguars. They're pretenders. I think their defense has been a little shaky early on. They just gave up 34 points to Carolina and Kyle Allen. I mean, Christian McCaffrey is the front runner for MVP for me at this point, so I get it's tough to hold them down. But they give up 34 to them, 40 to the Chiefs, and then they're 2-3 right now. I just don't think going forward I see them making the playoffs, and I see them losing Ramsey as well, which can only hurt their defense and not help it. And I'm curious to see what happens when Nick Foles comes back as to what they're going to do with the quarterback situation there. So, you know the saying, if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none. I think that they're pretenders.
Okay. Jacob, last team. This is the Philadelphia Eagles. Are they contenders or pretenders?
So they had kind of a mixed resume. You got that big win at Lambeau, beating the then undefeated Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. But you got some questionable losses, like the only win Atlanta has this year is because they blew a lead and they lost to Detroit at home. However, that loss to Detroit at home kind of warranted. You saw what they did against Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs. Kind of slowed them down. Matt Stafford's better than his stats say. And I think they're contenders just because of the coaching staff. And I think they're underachieving, honestly. And with all the drop catches and mental mistakes. And they're on the rise in the division. Dallas, we saw, lost to. Dallas, I don't think is legit. I still think Philly's going to win that division. I don't know, 9-7, 10-6 around there, but I think they're contenders.
Okay, so we see what Jacob said about the Cowboys. He said the Cowboys are pretenders. Do you agree with him?
No, I think the Cowboys are for real. I think they're just a little rough patch. With Zeke, he hasn't gotten going yet, and I'm safe to say that he will get going. Cooper's balling out. Gallup has stepped up as a legit number 2 receiver. I think Dak can put it together. He's shown us flashes of what he can do, and I think they'll challenge the Eagles. It'll come down to who wins the 2 games against each other, I think, for who wins the division.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're both pretty talented, both sides of the ball. I mean, I'm just not a big Dak Prescott guy. I'm not sold. And Carson Wentz, they've been there. Technically not Carson Wentz, but that coaching staff's been there before, and I like what Philly's got going on, even though they're 3-2.
That Carson Wentz injury is always around the corner, though.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, of course.
Who's their backup now? Nate Sudfeld?
Exactly. And plus, the weapons aren't as good as they were in past years, and the receivers are very vulnerable. So I get what you're saying for sure.
That's all we got for right now, but we're going to cut to a quick commercial break. When we get back, we're going to talk about the NBA, and we have a return of analysts on the way. We'll be right back. welcomed by returning analyst Ty Reeves. Ty, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
Doing good, doing good. The NBA season is only a couple weeks away, and ESPN has recently dropped their preseason power rankings. The rankings that had the Clippers, the Bucks, and the Sixers in front of LeBron and Anthony Davis Lakers. Ty, do you have a problem with these rankings?
As far as the top 10 goes, not really. The only thing I would switch is the Sixers and the Lakers for the strict reason that the Lakers still have the best player in the game in LeBron James. You can argue with me all you want, but he's probably the best player in the 2010 generation. AD coming in, he's probably the best stretch forward right now behind Kevin Durant, who's injured. But again, even the bench, Philly has no bench. It's Scott, and he has one playoff experience. They have Avery Bradley, Jared Dudley, KCP. You have all these guys that have played in the league, for a good amount of time now. And even though they might not be experienced playoff-wise, they're experienced in the game. And to be completely honest, I'm not sold on Ben Simmons being a leader. I mean, he's showing his flashes, but at the end of the day, he can't shoot. And, he's a point guard, quote-unquote. But I just don't see it. And Embiid's injury-prone. I love Embiid. I think he's the best center in the league, but he's injury-prone. So the only problem I have is the Lakers being in front of, or the Sixers being in front of the Lakers.
Okay, Grant, what about you? What do you think?
Similar to Ty, but I have the Lakers in front of the Bucks as well. I think the Bucks take a step backwards this year. I think losing Malcolm Brogdon is going to be a huge loss. Wesley Matthews coming in, he's not going to be that much of a help, I don't think. Ever since that Achilles injury in Portland, he hasn't been the same player. So I'm putting the Lakers, who arguably have two of the top 5 best players in the game, especially without KD. I'm putting them up at second, just behind the Clippers right now.
So let me ask you a question. You think that Wesley Matthews isn't the 3-and-D player that the Bucks have been looking for the past couple of years?
I think that Malcolm Brogdon and his defense and his ability to get the ball where it needs to go, and he can score it. He can do a little bit of rebounding.
Can he shoot it?
Can he shoot it?
Michael Brogdon definitely can shoot it.
Yeah, Brogdon can shoot it. Maybe not as well as Wesley, but he's more inconsistent.
And Michael Brogdon can also handle the dribbling responsibilities better than Wesley Matthews can. Bringing the ball up, giving Giannis a quick break, bringing the ball up as well.
Okay.
I want to see what Giannis does with his jumper this year. I mean, he gets the jump shot that just elevates them to a whole other level, but I'm not buying it yet, so I'd put the Lakers in front of them as of now.
Expect a lot of bricks.
Yeah, definitely agree. If Giannis gets a jump shot, he is the best player in the league. By far. LeBron is older. If it was Miami Heat LeBron, then maybe I won't say he's the best player, but if Giannis gets a jump shot, it's over. It's really a wrap for everybody. But before we head out, let's talk about Bleacher Report rankings of the all-time players. They had Kobe Bryant at 14th, while having Stephen Curry at number 10. Grant, do you think Curry is a top 10 player of all time?
I think this is outrageous. To have Curry over Kobe as of now, this is just recency bias at its finest. I mean, Kobe's been out of the league for a few years now, so everyone is just in love with Steph, in love with the threes. That's the new way the game is played. Kobe is a fringe top 5 player of all time. He owned the 2000s decade. That was him. Every player that has their own decade, I mean, Jordan had the 90s, Kobe the 2000s, LeBron's got the 2010s. You've got to put them at least top 10, close to the top 5. So that's my take on those two at least.
Ty, where do you think Kobe should be in the top 5 players of all time?
Well, let me tell you something. You're crazy if you think Kobe's cracking the top 5.
It's at fringe. He's close. 6 or 7.
He's barely cracking the top 10 as it is, if we want to be honest. He's a close 9-10. You got to think about, first of all, we all know who the GOAT is. It's Jordan, without a doubt. If anybody thinks LeBron is the GOAT, go get a doctor. You're mentally insane. But LeBron is right there. He's number 2. He's number 2.
Okay.
And then that 3 through 8, you got Magic, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Wilt Chamberlain,
Kobe,
Bird, Karl Malone, everybody forgets, Karl Malone leads the league in scoring of all time. So that's where Kobe falls in. He's like that 9-10 on the fringe of top 10. He's better than Curry.
Okay, good.
Curry doesn't even deserve to be in this discussion. Just because he can shoot the ball doesn't mean all that. And he's not even the best shooter of all time, in my opinion.
Really?
So, you know I got to stick to UConn, man. You know, Ray. Okay. That shot against the Spurs says all you need to know.
So while you were mentioning the all-time players, you mentioned Karl Malone. You're missing like key players. You're missing Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon. And Tim, the best power forward over Karl Malone, Tim Duncan.
I didn't mention Bill Russell, man. He better than both of them.
Okay. Definitely having Curry that high is honestly insane. Curry hasn't done he has changed. I feel like you guys are disrespecting Curry to an extent because Curry, in my opinion, is the second best point guard of all time. Yes, Magic is the only point guard that should be in front.
Jimmy
of him.
West is not better than Stephen Curry.
No.
What?
No. Curry, when Curry passes half court, you have to guard him.
Isaiah,
Curry has changed the
Tell
game.
me this. Besides shooting, what does Curry have?
Finishing. At the basket, he
takes the ball.
He has been known. If you look at his stats, he is the highest guard finisher, higher than Russell Westbrook, higher than Kyrie Irving. So Curry can finish. So finishing, shooting.
Don't say defense. Do not say defense.
His MVP season, he did lead the lead in steals. Just saying.
And didn't Harden lead the league in steals?
I'm not saying he's an elite defender. I'm just saying Jerry West. Who did he really play like that?
Do you think that Curry finishes as the top 10 player of all time?
No.
When it's all said and done.
No. I'd say that he barely misses it. He's around 11 or 12.
I think he's a Finals MVP and one more ring away from that because he's going to shatter the three-point record, which in this day isn't as impressive, but still he's going to break it by 1,000, I think, at this point. And I think I think he'll be the best shooter of all time when it's said and done. So I think being the greatest at one of the more important things in the game, you deserve to be in the top 10.
Yeah, Curry, I think, will no doubt be the best shooter of all time.
Now let me ask you this.
Okay.
Put Curry in the 90s. Is he as good as he is now?
No.
That's all I need to say. I'm done.
If you put Curry in the 90s.
I'm done. That's it. Don't talk to me. I'm done.
Okay. Fortunately, that's all that we have time here for today. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to follow UCTV on Twitter and on YouTube at UCTV Channel 14. I'm your host, Isaiah Davis, signing out. Lucky the show is going too long. I was about to say something else, but I thought about how long the show was about to be to edit.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say that if you had Curry